My neighbor dog kept pooping on my yard. So one day I pooped on his yard. Nice. Well done. Fucking good. Oh, and look at the picture of him pooping. Can you see that? You can see it. I would fucking... whose lawn would I poop on? Beezus. Maybe we gotta change strategy. Maybe we gotta poop on his lawn. Because he's got a lot of lawns. Yeah, he got a lot of lawn space. Obviously, his shit's heavily fucking guarded. He's gotta have drones and shit. Be hearing the fucking air sirens. Don't worry. We're all good. It's just, it's the sundown. It's on a Friday, sundown. Time to, hopefully everybody shut their lights off. Because otherwise you're gonna have to ask a Gentile to do it for you. It's happened to me on certain occasions. Which is kind of like, it's like like with all these things like that, and it's not because it's specifically like Jewish. It's just things in general. If it was like Chris, like the whole shit of like like the Good Friday, you can't have this. Like Jesus was apparently a fucking dietitian. Like you see all these like fighters and all these people like in tremendous shape. What diet are you? Are you doing keto? You doing? No, I'm actually on the Jesus diet. Because he actually knew a lot about nutrients and shit. And he told you on certain days you shouldn't have this meat. On certain days, apparently if it's fucking swims, it doesn't matter. But if it crawls around on land, then it's no bueno. Again, who made up the rule? I don't think it came from the source. That's all I'm gonna say. I do not think that it came from the guy himself. Just judging based off the rest of what he said. Like it doesn't mesh. You know what I mean? It doesn't fucking mesh. Maybe I'll tell you what it could be. It could be because he didn't figure out. You know how the whole story with like the wine and the fish. No, sorry. Am I? No, it's the wine and the bread. I'm getting my shit fucked up here. This is how long it's been since I've even freshened up because I haven't remotely given a shit. I haven't gone to mass because I've lost the ability or lost the desire to want to make myself seem holy to other people. And not that I even ever had the desire. I was told you had to fucking do it. And then I realized you didn't have to do it. I'm like, but maybe I'll still go to try to get thing. Can we just say right off the bat, like Catholicism. I mean, I guess like there's maybe some other shreds of like Christianity, like like those really boring like WASP types of religion, that are just like maybe that takes the cake. But otherwise, Catholicism, and I'm not talking about like Mexican Catholicism or even Polish Catholicism. I'm not even talking about that because the Poles still like they I think because of the Pope guy. Like they still like maybe this is all dying out too, but like I think there's still something there. But I'm talking about like American fucking Catholicism, Irish Catholic, whatever, like all that shit. Pound for pound number 1 or top 5 worst fucking religions, just in terms of like entertainment value and in terms of like thing, just a fucking horrible religion. And now listen, I am going to be in that category until the day I die, because that's just the way it is. And this whole thing of like people saying, "Oh, I converted to," why would you? I don't believe in the concept of that. That concept doesn't make any sense to me. Listen, the internet is here. Absorb all of it. Okay. If it starts to get like because at the end of the day, it's I'm talking about it like it's an identity, but it's a club, right? It's like a club. It's like a membership. It's like having cable. Being a Catholic is like having cable. Now, if they start fucking charging you an obscene amount of money and start saying, because everyone's going to fucking Netflix now, but we know you really want, give me a fucking cable show. We know you really want fucking, hip hop. What is it? Love and hip hop. And I'd be like, you know what? I could live without love and hip hop. I don't need to be paying, what is it? $300 fucking dollars a month. Thank you. When I could pay $9 to these tech people that are eventually going to sell themselves to fucking Amazon or Apple or some shit, and then send me a fucking Marvel or Adam Sandler, in a drone that looks like Adam Sandler to come fucking saw my head off. because because I opened up and said something about whatever the fuck. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so what was that, firewood? What was I saying? I was saying the Polish still kind of give a shit about Catholicism. The Mexican, South America, Central America, all that kind of shit. Everywhere else, find me somebody who's in church who actually is feeling spiritually uplifted. That it's not based on the fact that they did it since they were kids, so it's a nostalgic thing. So take that out of the equation. Find somebody who's actually feeling kind of like who isn't fucking just mentally ill, who isn't, and then everybody else will be there to either because they were told they have to, and are trying to impress somebody, or because they okay, so they want to impress somebody that they know, like their fucking lineage or whatever, or they want to impress the person sitting across from them, and so they get their hair done, and say this and this and that, and so they make an appearance, and it's like it's the equivalent of posting a selfie. It's like saying I'm here right now, yeah, yo. So it's like, oh yeah, I saw her in mass. And then we'll talk about the new pool she just put in. Have conversations totally not fucking relevant to a guy, like we said before, being brutally fucking tortured. Telling you all these stories to be like, here's how you navigate through fucking life. Okay? But, in addition to having all the deep, meaningful shit, I'm not saying that Jesus is the most boring motherfucker ever. I think Jesus is an interesting dude. I think the script writers went a bit nuts, with the whole magic trick shit. I would have preferred, if they just left it, that he was just another guy. I think that was a cool, because he set the precedent. Like now, because he did the whole, what did I say before? He did like 1,000 bottles of wine to 5,000 bottles. No, 5 bottles of wine to like 1,000 bottles of wine. So, you know what I mean? It was too magic trick heavy. I was totally fine with him being like, do unto others, get that shit out, get the fucking, the people selling shit out of the temple. Telling his mom and dad who were like, well, where'd you go? It's like, well, I'm doing what I was meant to fucking do. I'm doing Jesus. Like, I'm not doing, Joseph and Mary Jr. I'm not being a fucking footnote in history. I'm being the guy. All right? And all these kind of things. Like, oh, the lady who gave $2 and that was all she had, she gave more than the rich cunt who said he was given 1,000. Let that be a lesson too. Bezos donated $11 million. Yeah, that's a speck of piss. And in the meantime, that means I can get away with, fucking all the dumb shit that he gets away with. I cannot wait to meet him in a boxing match. I will fuck that guy up. I will fucking make that polio tree cheese stick of a human fucking unrecognizable. But going back to what Jesus was like the whole, like I was fine with him being a cool guy, and I still think that if you're trying to be a cool guy in life, you want to talk about deep shit, turn the other cheek, blah 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 blah. I'd be pleasantly surprised. You know what you know what the thing is? I will not fucking make it to heaven unless here's my theory. What if what if I get up there and I'm like they're giving me I'm in the waiting room or whatever, and I'm like, look, and I say exactly what I'm saying now. I was cool with all the shit about like spread love and be a bigger human, because a lot of that shit's out of my reach. A lot of that shit's way the fuck out of my reach. Let's be honest. And it's actually really not. That's the crazy thing. A lot of it's really fucking simple. A lot of it's like do less. Like don't overreact to shit. Don't be a selfish motherfucker. Like literally do less. For me, it's a heavy ask. Heavy ask a lot of these things. But like I would love it. I went up there. I'm like, yeah, those are the bits I liked. But this idea that it's like, oh yeah, and then like the first movie, it's like, what it's like? It's like having, I'd never seen fucking Passions of the Christ. But a well-regarded movie, has a bit of a reputation. It'd be like if they went to and they wanted to make a sequel. Because obviously I don't know, I haven't seen it, but did they do the bit in the movie where he disappears, or was it just the fact that he was bludgeoned? Was it like Saw, like a movie from the Saw series? Except instead of like this weird fucking painted dude, it's just here's all the unimaginable things that we can do to this fucking human being. I would imagine that it's that, but it's like taking that and saying, now that did so well that we're gonna make a sequel, and it's like, and then like they let like a kid who's 5, the son of somebody, like come up with a sequel. It's like, and then, but no, but that wasn't all, and then he disappears, and he was there, and then they came back and he wasn't there, and it's like that, like clearly no. But then they're like, I love it. It sounds fantastic. It's a magical mystery. It's a family adventure. Let's fucking put it. Like you'd be, everyone would unanimously, whether you were a Christian, whether it offended you, whether or not, if you were just a person with brains, you'd be like, you're jumping the shark. You're jumping the fucking shark here. Now maybe some of the flying spaghetti monster people will be like, oh well, it's actually they improved it, or the atheist people will be like, they actually improved it. But that would be because they're being sarcastic, or maybe not. I don't know. Whatever. The point I'm saying is, I could do with all the magic shit, right? Because I thought that the point is that I'm supposed to try to be more like you, but by saying, oh yeah, he was a good dude and he did this, and he also fucking healed a dead guy. Like I can't do that. I cannot do. I do not have that power. So are you trying to make me like? What are you trying to make me say? Are you trying to make me say? Is the point for me to look at you and say, oh, he's just fucking better than me, I should just give up. I should just fucking give up. And worship this guy not because he's a good dude, but because he's just fucking better than me. Is that the lesson? Or am I supposed to be like, how can I be more like this guy? That's what they have to fucking figure out. Is this an inspirational tale? Or is this like, it's probably both, but is it like, you're fucking useless, so don't even fucking try. You know that at all times you are a piece of shit, and I actually like that. I like that, but I don't like the fact that it's like I am a piece of shit because I can't do, I can't make fucking hula hoops disappear and reappear while I'm doing the hula jiggle, and also juggling Jello, like fucking juggling mounds of plates of Jello, and fucking doing a hula hoop that disappears and reappears, and also fucking reciting the Pledge of Allegiance in Persian. I'm sorry, I'm not a multi-talented fucking guy like that. But that's what I would say to them in the waiting room, and then they'd be like, you know what? That was the point. You like what? Okay, Jesus is actually. Then before I can even finish it, it's like one of those like Jimmy Fallon segments where they're like recording it, and it's like the person's like behind the scenes or some or whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. Like they're saying like, say everything you mean to me, and then the person comes out and whatever the fuck. So it'd be like that, and then Jesus, before I even finish, he comes out, and I'm be like, oh shit, it's Jesus. He's like, you get me, man. You feel me. Like all these other guys didn't get it. Like you totally got it. I don't know why he talks like he's from Southern California, but he goes, yeah. He's like, dude, and then he's like, you picked up what I put down. I'd be like, yeah, I know. Like you get into heaven. I'd be like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. Hey, I didn't know that's all it took. But barring that happens, assuming that doesn't happen, let's say it goes exactly like they're fucking saying it's gonna happen. Desi doesn't get in there. Why is that? Well, because I didn't follow the rules. I was just supposed to fucking follow. How was I supposed to tell who was writing the rules? I don't think it was this guy. It's like it's like when you hear somebody's like publicist write something for somebody, like some famous actor or some politician or whatever, some publicist writes it, and you're like, I don't think that person fucking wrote that. That doesn't sound like them. That's what a lot of these fucking rules sound like with the Christian shit. It's like it doesn't sound like it's coming from from the mouth of the guy himself. It sounds like somebody who's using the fucking the fact that again, like I'm saying, a bunch of people who are like, I can never fucking be like you because in addition to being a savage human being, you're also a magician, and I just can't juggle those two fucking things. I don't have the power to do the whole bread into wine shit or bread into wine. Just imagine. That'd be even fucking doper. I think I'd actually even like that better. It's like, oh yeah, you turn water into wine. You could have just put food coloring in that. Turning bread into wine. Or wine into bread. Like that's a couple more steps of like that. Like that's a bit more of a mindfuck. Like if David Blaine fucking turn water into wine. You know, like that's like an opening. That's an opening fucking trick. But if he turn wine into bread, it's a bit more like, you know, because the glass disappears, it fucking either liquefies or solidifies. Now there's more going on. What if Jesus was jealous of David Blaine's like magician abilities? Like what if David Blaine went up there and he's like he started being all like passive aggressive and shit. He's like, do I get it? He's like, I don't know. It's like, gee, what's the problem? I don't know. Are you just tight? A little. Why? Cause, you know. Cause what? Like he'd be like, oh, you're the OG. Like you started the magic industry. Jesus kickstarted. Jesus maybe I also because I don't know. Maybe they added the magic shit later. Maybe it's like I'm saying they needed like a sequel or they needed like a selling point. So they you know, because the story was too boring. He was just going around saying nice things and here's how you should be. And then they printed the legend and they said, yeah, he was a nice shit. And he also had laser beams for eyes. Blah, 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 blah. And so he also fucking walked on water. But the guy who, if not the guy himself, the lasting fucking vision of this dude, and you gotta think, because this has been around for when did they start spreading Christianity? What, like 1500? Like, it's probably since you started, but it took a while to take off, right? Who was the first? I was the Romans, no? But when did they come around to that shit? What was the story with that? Just look into that. So he's been, so this version of Jesus, you know, I think everybody, likewise, I doubt we make another 50 years. I would give us less than 50 fucking years. I'm talking about human beings as a species on this planet. But what I'll say is, if we make it 1,000 years, it'd be pretty fucking dope to be like misremembered. Like people watch this video, and it's just like, oh, he's just a dude with opinions, and then they fucking mesh that with something else. He was also a half lizard man. He was also able to, you know, whatever the fuck. And then I become like God. I think everybody would want that for themselves. And so I think it happened to this Jesus guy. Because Jesus was just, again, being a nice guy. And now he's got all these superpowers. He kickstarted the magic industry. And he kickstarted the superhero franchise thing. You know, like if you're going to have one of these hypothetical superhero matchups, you're going to be like Spider-Man versus Batman versus Superman. You got to throw Jesus in there. You got to throw fucking Jesus in there. He wouldn't want to fight. He'd be like, if this was like, what's that game called? Super Smash Bros. Is that what it's called? What's the one where you're floating on a thing and you're just like, the only things you can really do is like flip in a circle and then like land really hard and explode people out of the fucking thing? I think it's like Super Smash Bros, right? You're just on this fucking floating plank and just flipping in the air and try not to, usually you just end up falling off half the time. Half the deaths are just like, you know, like the easiest way to win that game is to not fall off. But if it was like that, you know, like Jesus' only move would be like that, you know, turn the other cheek, because he wouldn't actually fight. But then he could also, like I said, disappear and walk on water. Like he would never fall off. He could walk on air. So he killed pretty easily. Maybe not even that easily. It was a bit of a struggle. No, I was about to say, you know, maybe a shitty kind of like, you know, maybe it'd be, you know, like finish him and it'd be like fucking easy. Yeah, but probably not. He put up quite the fight. I think, could he have died at any? Probably. He probably could have died at any point before. Maybe not. Maybe they did all the shit they knew would keep him alive until he was up on the piece of wood. I don't know. I gotta fucking roll it back. So we were talking about Catholicism being like the most. Yeah, it's you know, it's another cheap shot. So that now if that guy I said who's the 5 things is also Catholic, an extra bullet for Desi. It was Bobby Bonilla Day yesterday, everybody. Bobby Bonilla Day. Fucking, you know, like, I was gonna say a couple weeks ago when my shit got, you know, ruined because of the sounds, the sounds. I was gonna say that my definition of genius is very fucking. This is one of the points I was gonna make, and then I was rudely interrupted by the fucking technology. And I was gonna say, that the my definition of genius is very wide. Okay, because on the same fucking week, I want to say like 10 years ago. I know I just shat on the Catholic shit, but we said goodbye to fucking Eggs Benedict. You know, that useless fucking with the useless fucking Pope, who like just retired. Like nobody fucking retires on that job, and he was the first guy in 600 years to be like, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, you know, and then had the balls to fucking come out like 5 years later when they're talking about like, yeah, why did your organization just fucking rape a bunch of kids? Why did that happen? And like the death of fucking self-awareness, he goes, oh, because in the 60s, you know, hippies started being all like exploring sexually, and that contributed to the culture, and that's why it happened. I hope, you know, like somebody like that. Again, you want there to be a hell, and not like the Satan kind. Like you want that person to just be like eternally a kid who gets fondled. Just for the remain. Like if that's your fucking conclusion. That's your fucking conclusion. And the thing is, like, it'd be one thing if he was, like, you know, still in office and you could tell that he was going to be, like, you know, that they were going to come after him with pitchforks and he was just saying it to be, like, you know, it's because of them. But the fact that he was gone and he decided, I'm going to make a reappearance to tell the world this because they really need to know. Thanks, whatever your name is. I was going to say Joe. I think it is Joey, right? Thanks, Joey. Thanks to I would have been fucking lost without your analysis. Holy shit! I thought it was just because these people were not allowed to fuck. Basically told, would you rather have any sex ever in your life ever, or would you put on a black shirt with a little white thingy and read from a book, and give people snacks every week, and you can't but you fall in love with Jesus. And also at the same time, because like we were saying with also, you better not be gay, you better not be any of this shit. You better not even have sex before you're married. Otherwise you're going down to hell. But if you know, if any of that shit if you know, like if you want to marry God, put on this shirt and you'll be able to do it. And you'll also be like you'll be like above people. You know, like you'll be above people because people will look up at you and you could basically say what it is and then you'll be like God. So now everyone who's a bit like funky in some way or another, and by funky I don't mean like actually funky, I mean funky by the definition of this church definition. So somebody who isn't somebody who whatever, isn't sexually just boring, isn't just signing up for like the fucking whatever, or whatever. Anybody who's kind of off the beaten path in any sort of way might look at this as an opportunity. But I mean, that's even beyond that. That's where the God component comes in. The God component comes in because it doesn't matter how funky your thing is. It's not. It's just. I don't know. Like again, like. I'll tell you what it isn't. I'll tell you it has nothing to do with the fucking hippies. And that's your fucking take. But why did I bring that up? We're talking about the Mets, and now I'm talking about. I was saying. So this guy goes, and then fucking thing. Argentinian guy comes in, and instantly starts saying, like we're gonna do things a little bit differently. We're gonna pick up on a bit of a go a little bit of a different route, and we're trying to figure out what this guy's about. Not that it makes any fucking difference. It doesn't really make any fucking difference. The whole thing, it's a sinking fucking ship. Okay, the iceberg has already been hit, and like I said, part of the reason why I said Catholicism is one of the worst religions because everyone's gonna jump ship. Like I said, apart from that's the funniest shit now is seeing all these like these priests and shit bishops who used to say like, who used to be like hardline fucking, like, yeah, vote red because abortion and gay marriage and all this shit and blah 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 blah. Now they're so fucking pro immigration. Why? Because if they didn't have fucking immigrants, they wouldn't have anybody in their fucking pews. Because everyone's like, holy shit, this shit's whack. I'm not feeling uplifted. All this shit that I was saying before happens in other churches and shit too. In every religious thing, there is the Jones, the keeping up with the Jones shit. Every religious thing, so it's not unique to like if people are overly dressing for like as if God's fucking watching in like Baptist churches and shit. People are like in like black churches. People are like, all this shit's happening there, but you can't fucking deny. And maybe either they're faking it or they're having a good fucking time. There's a bit of a spiritual thing going on there. It's not cold. They're not just like, and he rose from the dead, and he died by a fire. It's like, even like I said, it's a fine line between spiritual thing and like mental illness. So like even the Jesus freaks in the Bible Belt who are doing the whole like tongue shit, I think they're faking it. But even if not, like there's a sense of like, oh, we're going there. Like we're pushing it to the limit. The Catholicism doesn't do that. Not American brand of Catholicism. So it's gonna die with a whimper. But then, like I said, in South America, Poland, even Poland, it might be a bit, on its way out. I don't know. Certain spots in Africa, certain spots in, little pockets, wherever they send the missionaries and shit. But so the Pope, he just got in, and so like we were kind of figuring out what he was all about, and he says this phrase. He says, hell is a metaphor for the isolated soul. I might be butchering, but I think that's exactly what it was. Hell is a metaphor for the isolated soul. And I said, holy shit, that's fucking deep. It's deep. It's poetic. And it could just be like, whatever. But it's a nice one. I said, you know what it is? Actually, that's genius. I remember saying that word. I said, that's genius. 2 days later, we were having a discussion. It was I was talking to just somebody, one of the neighborhood people, and I was saying, like we were talking about public toilets and shit, and like nothing worse than going all. I'm like, taking a shit in a public toilet. If I take a shit in a house, okay, and I was talking about the splashback. I was saying, how they have like ratings for like cleanliness and shit, like the food safety whatever ratings. They should have splashback ratings. I thought I was being a genius. I said, you have A for thing, but F for splashback. And people are like, what's that? It's like, that means that if you go, because it depends on how high your water level is in your toilet. But like sometimes like you either have like these thin fucking toilet bowls, or it's like the water's all the way up to the top, and you drop a dookie in there, and it just goes, it plops right back up, all up in your asshole again. I don't want, if it's in the house, whatever, it's nasty in the house, but if it's in a public fucking toilet, last thing I fucking want. Last thing I find, now I gotta fucking worry about whatever it was in there is now possibly through my rectum crawling up through my fucking bloodstream. So I was saying splashback ratings. Splashback ratings. I thought this was a great fucking idea. And then this guy I was talking to, my buddy, was like, why don't you just put a piece of toilet paper? And I'm like, what, on the seat? I'm like, that doesn't mean anything in terms of splash. He's like, no, you idiot. He's like, put a piece of toilet paper, single piece of toilet paper, and then deadens the fucking impact of the turd. Gives it a nice little barge to land on. And I said, holy fucking shit. Now, I get that it's wasteful possibly, but I will say, unless sometimes what happens is you drop it in and then you still fucking miss anyway and fucking, Nagasaki all over again. But 95% of the time, and I've been doing this ever since, so I'm probably being a more wasteful bastard, but I said, that is genius. Why is this not common knowledge? The way he said it too, it's like, he's like, yeah, I've been doing this my whole life. Incredible. Fucking incredible. I was gonna say something else, and I don't. But you know what? We're open book here. It's also like for certain people who didn't have certain procedures done at a very, 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 very early age. And if you go to Europe, nobody gets it fucking done. But here, and I think if you go to Canada, nobody gets it done. But apparently, if you over here, everybody does. And so it's not. So if you're not taking a number 2, you're taking a number 1. And for a while, it's just like, you know, as a younger man, it's like, oh, okay, well, this is kind of weird because it's kind of there's certain times we're going in different directions here. It's not a nice little stream. It's kind of like, there's a solution to that. Take the hood off. Not off, obviously. You can't fucking. I'm not saying give yourself, you know, streamlined all the time. So since I learned those lessons, streamlined and also fucking no plop, no splashback. Genius, fucking genius. See, these things have to coexist. Hell and an isolated soul and fucking the heavens and all that. Basic shitting techniques. Also under the large varied umbrella that is genius. There's somebody who's a third genius in this situation. Is neither here nor there. And his name is Bobby Bonilla. Okay, because Bobby Bonilla, and you have to fucking Google this. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. This story is fucking unbelievable. I just put Bonnie Bonilla. That would not be him, unless maybe he had a surgery done. In which case, you know, good for him. But it doesn't strike me as something Bobby Bonilla would do. But then again, I don't know Bobby Bonilla. Millie Bonilla is his wife. I need to fucking find this whole. Okay, here we go. Here it is. Can you read this? Okay. Give me a sec. Okay, we gotta pull it there. Look at that. This is fucking bonanzas. All right, what do I have? Can I? Is it gonna work if I? Okay, good. Oh no! You found my secret. You found my secret. Okay, but we gotta read this. This is great. Also, what a fucking dick line this is. Look at that. Bobby signed with the Braves in 2000 and played a mostly uneventful 114 games. This is supposed to be that's not your job, Wikipedia. You're not supposed to. I'm supposed to decide for myself that it's uneventful. It's a bit of a thing. He's also getting up there. But here's what we gotta read. Okay, read this shit. After his subpar 1999 season, the Mets released Bonilla, but still owed him $5.9 million. Okay, remember that number, $5.9 million. Bonilla and his agent, who also has to be lumped into this. We have to figure out this guy's name. We're going to look it up right after this. Another fucking world-class genius. World-class genius. Okay, do not tell me about this guy and that guy. Oh, he did some computer shit. Don't care. Fucking genius. Bonilla would offered his Mets a deal. Bonilla would defer payment for a decade. This motherfucker said, don't pay me that shit for a fucking decade. And the Mets would pay him an annual paycheck of $1.19 million in 2011 and ending in 2035. Adding up to a total payout of $29.8 million. Okay, that's fucking, what is that, like 6 times as much? Here's the shit. Mets owner Fred Wilpon accepted the deal mostly because he was heavily invested with the Ponzi scheme operator Bernie Madoff, and the 10% returns he thought he was getting on his investments with the Madoff thing outweighed the 8% interest the Mets would be paying on Bonilla's initial 5.9. As a result, the payout was subject of an inquiry during Madoff. It doesn't fucking matter. Madoff is dead. That shit fell apart. Bobby Bonilla is collecting $1 million every fucking year. And you know what? For once in this whole fucking thing, again, I don't know him. I guess is he a New Yorker? What is he? He's Puerto Rican? What's the story about Bonilla? Does it say? Puerto Rican. Yeah. Puerto Rican. But he's from New York then. He's from the Bronx. He's a good old Puerto Rican boy from the Bronx. And he's being paid by the Mets $1 million a year because this other dude's like, yeah, I'm invested with this guy. What could possibly fucking go wrong? What a fucking champion, Bobby Bonilla. Like, look at that. Look at that. Bobby Bonilla Day. Bobby Bonilla Day. You want to talk about, like, fucking Columbus Day? It's like this is why I was saying, look, the Italians have a range of fucking people. The Italians, more than maybe any group of people on the planet. Let's be honest. I got the English too. Like I got you guys, you know about me, like English, British, different, like, I will shit on the British shit all day. And if it has that stupid fucking flag, and you talk about going places and taking over and being a global thing, I don't have fucking time for it. The same way I don't really have the fucking time for the other shit, which is gonna get me a lot of fucking trouble. But for my own shit, my quote unquote own shit, don't really have time for that, because that's a symbol for it too. Let's fucking wave this shit and fucking go wherever the fuck and round people up and put a base there. Don't really have fucking time for it. You want to talk to me about England? I'm all ears. You want your anthem to be God Save the Queen? You can go fuck yourself. I'm gonna go get some Twizzlers. If this is what happened when the Tyson Fury fight, I was watching in the movie theater. No fucking way you're gonna get me sit and listen to that. No fucking way. You think this is what our guy Michael Collins, not the astronaut, invented modern terrorism for? I don't think so. I don't fucking think so. Especially coming from Tyson Fury, But if you want to not put that stupid fucking flag up, you want to put the white one with the cross, and you want to sing what's the song called? Jerusalem. So it's called Jerusalem, but it's not a thing. It's not. I don't think does it even talk about Jerusalem. I don't know, but I'm all ears. Want me to talk about England? I'll fucking give England props any day. I like England. Nothing wrong with England. And you want to talk about people who you have a roster of fucking people produced by a certain country. England might be. It's up to it's like that, and then like Italy, because you know what it is, because like Italy goes all the way. Like New York is high too, but New York is only the last 200, 300 years. Italy, you're going all the way the fuck back. All the way the fuck back. And with England, at least 1,000 years, because then that was the whole shit, right? When the guy showed up, was that 1066 or something? He showed up, and then things were never the same. But since the laundry list, fucking laundry list. There's a laundry list of Italian geniuses. Da Vinci Day. Da Vinci is the pound for pound. He's the Sugar Ray Robinson of people. You know how Sugar Ray Robinson is widely thinged, like the greatest boxer of all time? Like, Da Vinci's that for fucking people. Pound for pound number one, all time. Has to be. You want to talk about before we were saying with Jesus? So Da Vinci didn't do any miracles or shit that we know of. He very well might have. Kept it to himself. He did some other kind. He put like a square guy in a circle. And for years I used to see that thing. I thought that he was inventing like the first airplane, which apparently he did too. I thought that was what that was, because they're like, oh, he also invented the fucking first airplane. I'm like, how? What? But then I thought that was the plans. I thought the guy was moving his arms up and down, and it was like flapping. I thought that was the thing, but apparently not. Apparently it was because nobody before that could figure out how to put a guy in a fucking circle, in a square, and a square in a circle, and have this same fucking thing. Because everybody tried to do it, but whenever they did, they looked goofy. They had like, the legs were ridiculous. The thing was all ridiculous. Because the math doesn't work out, because we gotta work with pi. And pi is not like, it's never like neat, whereas a square, it's all fucking neato, and you know exactly what you're dealing with. This motherfucker figured that out. In addition to painting the fucking Mona Lisa, in addition to this math and science and all that shit. But no, don't celebrate fucking Da Vinci. Celebrate fucking a guy who like we said, like celebrate the Buzz Aldrin being sent by the Albanians to space. You know, you have so many fucking people. But if you want to talk about like Columbus Day, and then now they want to bounce back and say, oh, instead of Columbus Day, it's gonna be Indigenous Peoples Day. I don't know if Bobby Bonilla is he black Puerto Rican? I mean, he's probably a mix. It's all a mix of right. It's got to be a mix of probably, black Europe, African European, and I guess the indigenous. Why don't we have Bobby Bonilla Day instead of it being like a joke? Like have it be a fucking holiday. Where I mean, look, it's in the middle of the summer. Kids, you don't get off school. July 1st, it's 3, okay, so that's okay, and that's the shit too. It's 3 days before fucking 4th of July, when everyone gets all gung-ho and shit and starts spewing out, like, words that don't mean anything, but that, remind them that, oh, this is why it's fine to just, fuck shit up everywhere we want on a daily fucking basis, and have fucking hamburgers. Because it's like the Easter eggs. It makes as much sense as that. Where, what, how, what? But 3 days before that, before you get into the flag waving shit, and especially, here's the thing, because Puerto Ricans celebrate the July 4th? Are they invited to the barbecue? They'd make the barbecue pretty good. They'd add you get some fucking, what do you call this shit? The platanos. You get some platanos and some fucking habichuelas. Are they habichuelas, or is that Mexico? No, Mexico is frijoles. See, I'm picking up but you can't, don't go into the one thing and say the other one. You could have a nice cookout, you get that with the pernil. See, I'm a fucking world traveler. I know my shit. Although is that them or is that Dominican? I might also get in trouble because Desi's also is trying to sound smart, but at the end of the day is a ignoramus. So don't, we'll Google it too. But in honor of the Puerto Ricans who, it's like, do they count? Do they not count? Are they a state? What's the story with them? If people started flying around Puerto Rican flags on July the 4th, people would start getting all upset and be like, "There's no this day's about a bigger flag that in no way represents any local flavor whatsoever, that fucking whitewashes everybody who lives on this fucking continent pretty much, other than the people up north who get the leaf." But anyone within this fucking giant span, it doesn't matter what your cultural differences. It's all the same shit. Because I can claim to fucking, what's every local regional thing. Like, oh, yeah, Texas does barbecue. Oh, that's my barbecue. Because I'm American. Fucking, they do great lobster. They do lobster up in fucking Boston, dude. Or Maine or whatever the fuck. That belongs to me, too. Because I'm American. So I can say, hey, we make great lobster. We make great barbecue. In reality, if I went down to Texas and say, don't we make great barbecue, a Texas guy would rightfully so punch me in the fucking face. Say, get out of here, you fucking Yankee. Go have a slice of pizza. And I would say, I will, because that's what New York's thing is. And in New York, there's a lot of things. We do tacos and shit too, but like, well, I wouldn't fuck with I wouldn't go to LA and say that shit too. Don't we do such great tacos? As LA would be like, speak for yourself. And like I said, we got good shit here too. You get good Texas barbecue in New York, but you get good Texas barbecue in fucking any major city, or maybe not. But whether or not you do is not relevant to whether or not it's in the same country. There should be a New York Day, because New York is my nation. I don't know if have I gone through that on this podcast before. If I haven't, we're gonna have to have a whole sit down and talk with that shit too. New York is the nation for me, okay? So celebrating the outer picture, because yeah, we have like open lines and stuff. You can travel from state to state, and in general, it's the same thing from hundreds of years ago when people like whatever. But it's not. It's like, yeah, okay. But if you told me there was like New York Day, let's fucking go. Let's have New York Day. So maybe, actually, so either Bobby, well, see, because I was going to say Puerto Ricans already have the Puerto Rican Day Parade, and it's soon, or it just happened, actually, it just happened, right? Yeah, June, because there was a bunch of cars going, and you can tell when it happens. So they actually do have their own day. So Bobby Bonilla Day for the Puerto Ricans will be a bit of a redundancy. And he wasn't born in Puerto Rico, he was born in New York. So maybe, okay, so to honor New York specifically, Bobby Bonilla, And you could say, oh, he's leeching off the Mets. Okay, well, no. He's leeching off of some business fuck who made a stupid decision. Got invested in Bernie Madoff, gambled everything there. Was making a smart decision on the paper and saying, oh, 8%, 10%, blah, 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 in the grand scheme of things. We're not gonna have fucking Fred Wilpon Day. We're not gonna have fucking Fred Wilpon Day. We're gonna have Bobby Bonilla Day, and that is gonna be our. It's gonna be our Independence Day. It's gonna be our Columbus Day. Okay, it's not our Independence Day because New York's not declaring independence. I'm not saying to do that. That's not a part of my fucking thing. It's not a part of my plan. But we'll have Bobby Bonilla Day, and it's like the same way that the Italians pretend that it celebrates Italian. They just want an excuse to celebrate Italian heritage, which you should have. I mean, that's even a complicated one too, because in North Italian, South. I mean, a lot of people here in New York is all South Italian because they were told that they were, the dirty ones and then the inferiors and the have-nots. To this day, I saw that thing about Maradona. That's why you got to root for fucking Napoli. First of all, because people like the people I know from here, either Sicily or Napoli. You gotta go with south of Italy. None. Again, here comes the North Italian guy entering my apartment to kill me. The line grows longer. But in this game, the shit they were talking, like calling him, and it's like typical fucking like I feel like it happens everywhere on the planet. There's like the rich nice part, and they just have words for like the fucking. That'd be like, what that'd be like if I said you fucking you West Virginia fucking Hicks. You fucking opioid addicted coal miners. It's like, why would you shit on somebody who got the short end of the stick? Yeah, the entire fucking industry, that was just fucking horrible for them in the first place. Okay, the entire industry collapsed there, and who was there to save the day? Fucking one of these pill popping whatever the fuck drug dealers. Drug dealers were, but because the drug dealers wore a suit, it was a great American success story. And people are like, oh, but they voted for two. I don't give a fuck who they vote for. They got a raw fucking deal. I was watching something with the guy, and he was still a miner, like a guy who worked in the West Virginia coal mines, and he was saying like he was talking about why he was voting for Trump, and he was all excited. He's like, you could see he's telling the truth, and I just felt I'm like, this poor fucking guy. The poor guy's looking for one person not to be tugging his fucking prick, And he's looking and he saw this guy who didn't give a remote shit about him. Didn't give a fucking remote shit about him. Okay, this is the guy who, when he was topping out his fucking buildings, and they had the people who, I don't know, fucking built the buildings, come in to celebrate the party, and he's like, what are all these fucking people doing here? This is the guy, that's is going to turn around and give a shit about people who in the West Virginia coal mines. That's how fucked this whole thing is, from top to bottom. This whole fucking system. That's how fucked it is. That like I said, like a dude from a reality show can just come on and just honestly like shake the whole thing up, and you have this poor guy who and I don't want to go OD with the poor guy, blow smoke up his ass too, because take fucking response, like open your fucking eyes at the same time, like But like I would never, as somebody, because I would say I think New York is it's like the richest city in America, right? Isn't it? And that's all disputed too, because like who really has it? Like if two guys own 3 companies that are the top fucking 10 companies or whatever, like what? Because fucking like Bloomberg and fucking like what's his name, Icon, because they fucking live here. Like now we're what I mean, like. Like, is the average person richer here than everywhere? Probably not. But overall, I'd say this city, this metro area, probably has more money than everywhere else in the country. Am I gonna look at fucking West Virginia and be like, ha, you fucking peasant, blah blah blah? No, absolutely the fuck not. So and I would feel a certain fucking resentment. So I can understand the resentment, if not the fucking logic of, doing the equivalent of chopping my own balls off politically. So after that long-winded whatever the fuck, in the same way that Italians are using Columbus as an excuse to celebrate using a shitty excuse for a good cause, which is celebrate Italian culture, whatever, the diverse thing, mostly Southern Italian culture, but just was Italian. Just go fucking Italian. It doesn't fucking matter. Italian culture. Bobby Bonilla Day is going to be an excuse for New Yorkers. And we, in honor of that, what we should do is because we've defined this as genius, right? And so if we can't convince the Italians to accept the genius that is fucking Da Vinci, or even fucking Sinatra didn't even write that shit. So to say that Sinatra's a genius, but even then, like, there is something genius about him, even if it's not like he's not doing fucking science or he's not creating or writing things. There's something fucking genius about him, you know? I'll find something because again, like I said, my definition of genius is wide. Bobby Bonilla is genius. His agent is genius, and they're not like fucking groomed to be geniuses. It's not like Da Vinci where it's like, oh well, he's just a fucking genius. So, but if the Italians don't want Da Vinci to celebrate as the excuse to celebrate the day, we'll take the Bonilla as a symbol of genius, and his agent. We'll loop him into this. We'll find his name right now. What's his name? Bobby Bonilla agent. Because that's some fucking story, man. Holy shit. Dennis Gilbert. Is he American? Sorry, is he New York? See, I'm getting fucking tripped up now. Is he New York? I don't even give a shit if he is or he's not. Dennis Gilbert. Former sports agent. Oh, he's from the Bronx too. Okay, he went to high school, so he's an LA clown, right? But he was born in fucking the Bronx, it looks like. Or is he just all Southern California? Born in the Bronx, New York. Jewish guy from the Bronx, New York. Puerto Rican guy from the Bronx, New York. So it seems, even though educated apparently elsewhere. In Beverly Hills. But we'll throw him in there too, if he's really from the Bronx. But even if he's not, he has to get some credit because this is. I mean, do you think he saw that the whole Madoff shit collapse? It doesn't even fucking matter. The fact that he drew up this deal, which is like, I'll get 6 times as much, and I guess factoring what, like inflation, all that kind of shit, and then this, whatever, it doesn't matter. Genius. So every day on next Bobby Bonilla Day, we have 360. Was it yesterday? We have 364 days. You know, like how you always come up with like your best Halloween costume, like the day after it's Halloween. It happens to me all the fucking time. Like I never fucking. I'll be like, you know what? You know what I should have been? You know what I fucking should have been? I should have been Gumby. I should have been whatever, a walking fucking blowtorch. I should have been, I should have been Moby Dick if he had legs. I don't fucking know. Like I'd come up with some sort of fucking thing. I'd be like a blue man group, but it's it was frowned upon to be blue. So it's so a guy who did what's that surgery that they do for like when the guys have the spots that Michael Jackson said that he did? Was it vitiligo? Or you just be a Blue Man Group guy with vitiligo. Some fucking thing. And I would come up with all this shit November 1st every year. I'd be like, that's what I should have been. Write that down. October 30th of next year. It's like, what are you going to be following? It's like, oh, fuck, I forgot. I'll just be a fucking candle. Like, whatever the first costume I see, I'll just be, fucking Superman. And then people go, oh, okay. When I could have been like something so much greater, So at least now in the spirit of that, or we can even do, maybe we'll do it this July, maybe to piss people off, we'll do it this July 4th on the fucking day. Or maybe just to not ruffle any more feathers, because we ruffle a lot of feathers. Even though that's the nature of the show is to ruffle feathers, but maybe we'll lay off a little bit. We'll do it the day before, and we'll have Bobby Bonilla. You have to do an act of genius. Okay, a loose definition of genius, like we said, but something that celebrates the genius of New York. And and I think this is where we're playing into our strengths because I like to throw ideas out there. I like to throw ideas out there that might benefit myself really first and foremost, but also possibly the planet, and also just taking two like loose shoelaces that are just kind of floating there and just fucking tying them together. They might not be logically fucking next to each other. It might involve fucking tapioca pudding and fucking like wooden dancing shoes. Like what's that clog dancing shit? Is that what? Am I getting this right? I have no fucking clue. Oh, what's the Spanish shit? Let's talk about fucking Spain. The Spanish from Spain, the Spanish wooden dancing shoes and tapioca. You're like, what on God's green earth does that shit have to fucking have anything to do with each other? And you'll find out, oh, well, the problem is that, you know, in order to keep the shoes preserved, they have to be preserved in something. But we've been using this fucking palm oil, and now they're giving us shit because you can't be using palm oil because they chop, like, the orangutan, they chop his arms off and shit, and they just leave him there. Or maybe that's the sharks. That's the shark fin soup. But there's something with the orangutans. The orangutans are getting the Jesus treatment, okay? They're fucking nailing orangutans to a tree. They're basically, you know, they're throwing vinegar in their faces and shit just to get this fucking palm oil. And now you got these fucking, like, big supermarket chains who are going viral by saying, you know, we don't do that anymore, we don't sell it anymore, yeah, because now I'm high and mighty above whatever. So they can't do palm oil. And, you know, not like Spain gives a shit because they're just fucking still killing bulls whenever the fuck they want to show that they're better than them. Again, I think another thing of like, oh, because we lost the great fucking empire. Because we used to have all of South America. Then we lost it. So, but hey, we're still tough. You want to see this? Look at this. Look how tough I am. And not only did I fucking stab it, I was fucking doing the Lomachenko beforehand. To keep up the ceremony of like, oh, I still got it. We still fucking got it. So maybe they don't give a shit, but like say they gave a shit. Okay, they say okay, well this okay, well now because they're part of the EU, and say they come to EU and like, yeah, we want more money because you know the pigs and shit. I know that was 10 years ago, but let's say like they didn't recover. And I actually, you know, again, I fuck with Spain. I got no problems with Spain or whatever. But say like they didn't recover. And, you know, could it possibly be that we take 3-hour fucking naps in the middle of the day? Although, you know what? I'm actually with them on that. Why can't you take a 3-hour nap? If it was between taking a 3-hour nap every day and suffering economically like fucking crazy, it would depend on how bad. Like I would say, like what's the percentage? We're gonna decline by what percent? Because 10, 15, 20%, and I get a siesta every fucking day. I'll take 24 hours to think about it, as I always do, but it's looking pretty good from my perspective. Okay, so, but besides the point. Say, you know, maybe they want to go say, yeah, can you give us some more money because, you know, we're not giving up the siesta, so you're gonna have to fucking, you know, we're using your fucking currency. You kind of fucked us. Maybe you didn't fuck us. Maybe we fucked us. I don't know. But we just need some more of that currency. And they'd be like, okay, yeah, but in order to do that, you can't be using the. You can't be. You know, they're fucking. There's a orangutan genocide happening. All right. And why do we know about this? Because the supermarket made the commercial, and they made and to make you feel extra bad, like they always do. It's like we'll make like the Bambi version of this story. Or the little fucking poor orangutan watches his mom get fucking just absolutely chopped up into fucking limbs just so they can get on this fucking palm tree and squeeze the oil out of it. That's probably not how it works. That's how it works in my imagination. And they say, okay, we'll use coconut oil, but then it's like the same shit. And they found out that fucking, they're just showing up then, and you know, because they're saying they're running out of coconuts or some shit, and they keep showing up to this one fucking island and just, you know, not officially taking it over, but like, you know, like running shit, you know, just to get the coconuts or some shit, whatever. And then I'll be there saying, oh, have you tried tapioca pudding? Or even just the tapioca shit in the tapioca pudding. And they'd be like, that no, because that's what a fucking retard would do. And I'd be like, yeah, don't knock it till you try it. And then you do it, and voila. Because the solution is not always where it seems. Apparently, and this is where you want to know where the cop shit for me comes from. Apparently, it's you want to know why crime all across America went down in the 90s. Oh yeah, because the cops got broken windows. No. Apparently, more than anything, if you want to actually look at the fucking numbers, it was the abortion shit. It was the fact that abortion was made illegal 18 years before, so that, if you were someone like Desi who probably should have been aborted, then who wouldn't have been aborted before, that you were your future was not looking good. Then you had to fucking suck it up and deal with it. But now that the drain was an option, the option to just go down to the New York City sewers, and what is it, 1973? You do the math, 20 years later. Now that person's not going to grow up and shoot somebody in the fucking head. Apparently, this is one of the reasons. So you want to come tell me, oh, do we need this amount of cops? Do we need this more? It's a load of shit. But we knew that from the start, right? Because crime goes up. Or is that because of what? There's less cops? No. Oh, it's because cops can't do their jobs. I'm not getting into another fucking cop tirade. It's already fucking 2 hours, and I'm trying to close this out. If I start talking about cops, I'll be here for the next fucking 5 days. But I will say, just remember Desi's campaign promise as mayor. Just remember, it's we're giving people what they want. Because I'm fucking done. I'm not fucking smarter than anybody. I'm not gonna try to convince you that I know better than you. What do you say you want? What do you say matters the most? What do you want me to tell you that it is? I'll tell you that that's what it is. You want more cops? I'll give you. Everyone's gonna be a cop. And so my one thing that I will say before we close this out, and before we close out the cop thing, and then the podcast, or if that's what you want to call this thing, is that I will say my new proposal is broken windows. Like broken windows theory. Everyone who acts like they fucking know shit but actually fucking don't. And actually, it's because I might have said this last week, but it was so forgettable that I fucking don't remember. But it's like, broken windows theory, broken windows, because, it's like the one thing, you Googled one article, and as a justification, so that you can keep fucking saying, oh, all lives matter, or blue lives matter, or whatever the fuck stupid bullshit, because you just don't want to think about shit. You just want to go, blah, 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 blah. Because God forbid the teacher and the people who were telling you how the world was when you were 6 were lying to you. I get it. It's a lot for your fucking brain to handle. I understand that. But then, okay, so they keep bringing up broken windows theory, which apparently means, like, you catch somebody breaking a window, you're preventing, then down the line, you're preventing somebody. So my idea is this. We'll go broken windows theory to the fucking full extent. We're going to have cameras fucking everywhere. We'll talk with the NSA and all them. We'll tap into all the surveillance cameras all across New York. We'll make sure that we'll have a cop on every corner. Everyone gets a personal cop as well. And then you're going to have a surveillance camera everywhere. And if anybody sees a broken window, literally, of somebody, whatever happens, maybe kids playing catch and the ball goes whatever and it breaks a window. Whenever you see a broken window, everyone within a block has the right to be and should probably be executed on the fucking spot. Just to be safe. Because when the cops do it, there's no crime, so that's not a crime. You wipe out an entire city block, but the cops do it, it's fine. It's totally fine. Maybe they'll go to trial, but they won't be as lucky as fucking Chauvin. We were wrong about Chauvin. He not only did not get out, he got a bit of a sentence. That's just to clear up the air about that last bit. But regardless, you can say this the tide is changing. No, it's not. No, it's fucking not. You could tell the whole thing is like, okay, you happy now? Are you happy now? Can we move on? Can we go back to strangling people with no consequences? So now they'll fucking blow up a city block, so crime won't go up because the cops do it. The death toll will go up, but really what we're doing, we're not raising the death toll. We're preventing crime. We'll make there'll be random fucking craters throughout Brooklyn. Be like, what happened? Window got broken somewhere. Everyone had to be taken out. If this is the line of thinking now, right? Then we're giving people what they want, and we're looking towards the future. We're looking to really prevent crime. Just start fucking killing people. Because who commits guns don't kill people. People kill people. Okay, so let's kill people then, because they're killing people. And if you want to stop killing people, then you fucking kill people. Especially when there's a broken window, now there's some bullshit theory that we can attach it to. So wherever glass breaks, kill everybody, and have the cops do it. Not me, because then that's murder. But have the cops do it. That's the second part of that everybody gets a cop. Give the people what they want. Mayor strategy. Because there's no way that anything short of that in the opposite anything in the opposite direction is not going to get fucking passed. It's just it is what it is. That was my fucking thing, and I left the other shit on a cliffhanger. You're gonna have a moment of genius. Oh yeah, like I said, but that wasn't even a genius, was it? Rubbing fucking tapiocas on your Spanish dancing shoes. I'll come up with something. Or you know what it'll be? It'll be a round table. In honor of Bobby Bonilla Day, which is kind of like the New York thing, because he was playing for the Mets when it happened too. So he's a New York guy playing for the Mets. Perfect, Puerto Rican, perfect. From the Bronx, so it made a genius move. Top 5 in terms of the sports world, but also probably top 100 pound for pound of all time most genius things. Okay, I rank this above fucking the computer. I really do. It's just, is it more genius? No, but it's closer to Desi's heart. So in honor of this, we're going to have like a round table, like a Knights of the Round Table, except it's just going to be like just laymen and women. And we're just going to sit around to prove New York genius innovation. Because our genius sees the small... Why was Seinfeld and Larry David, why was it such a hit? Was it all like, oh, but the systems of the planet? It's like, yeah, it was all that. But it's also this pen. What is this? This pen makes a funny noise. Blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, that's so small and insignificant. It's like, yeah, no. We decided to fucking speak up on shit like that. That's the only way you're going to find solutions to these things. And fucking butterfly effect, this shit sounds like a squeaky pen. Little do you know, 50 years later, we avoided the fucking nuclear holocaust. And they say, well, how the fuck did that happen? Well, it happened because, and they'll give it some credit. You know what it's going to be? The cops stopped it. Or they'll give credit to fucking Donald Trump Jr.'s fucking son. They'll say he stopped it because of this. But really, if you look at the numbers, you go all the way back, it was because the pen was clicky thing. And all you had to do to avoid it was to rub some fucking tapioca on it. There you go. Fuck the dancing shoes from Spain. It's the little clicky pen. We're going to rub some fucking, what's that? There's the tapioca shit, the tea, the boba. If you will develop a boba based grease for pens to avoid the sound, and if there's not a greasy sound, maybe it'll prevent 1 or 2 temper tantrums from like writers who could be like fucking saving the planet, but are also fucking like demented, and that sound drives them nuts, and they were just about to finish this thing that was gonna save humanity, but then the greasy sound made them want to fucking go to the attic and fucking dangle. So maybe like a butterfly effect. Okay, butterfly effect. It'll be this is our testament to the opposite of like that broken window series I was saying is the snowball of genius. It's July 1st, but that's kind of what. So Bobby Bonilla Day, snowballing genius, a tribute to New York, hosted by Dez, future mayor of New York, in honor of Bobby Bonilla and Dennis Gilbert, given to us by the great borough of the Bronx. I like it. That's gonna do it for this week because I am fucking getting really hot right now. I need to start turning this AC back on. Again, this might have been. There was no particular thing for this one. We went in all different directions, and I spent the first fucking hour telling you about the shit that I was talking to myself about. So I might have been saying things thinking that you had the details and you probably didn't. This could be the worst one. This could be a good one. I don't know. I never know until I watch these things back. And then when I watch them back, it's as bad and as good as I think they are. At the same fucking time somehow. I just, again, it's going to linger in 7-view hell. No one's going to give a shit. But hey, you know what? I do feel a little bit better. This is like it's like talking to my therapist. But I'm really just looking at a picture of Dennis Gilbert and myself sometimes when I have the screen open to make sure that I'm not fucking up on the technological angle. So anyway, if you've been listening at all, if you listen to 3 minutes of this shit, which you might because I'll chop it up for you, whatever. But like if you actually came to and listened to a majority of it, if you had this in the background when you were doing something, and you didn't just say, "Oh my God, fucking shut your mouth and shut it off," then like you're a champion. You are a champion. Now go live a champ's life. I'll see you next time.